They say the most dangerous part of a hurricane isn't the wind, it's the silence of the eye. Right now, you are living in that silence. Look around. Your feed is full of distractions. Celebrity gossip, new tech gadgets, the usual political noise. But if you look closer, past the headlines, something is shifting. We are weeks, maybe days, away from a convergence of events that experts have quietly feared for a decade. It's not just one problem. It's a polycrisis. In the next few days, 3 specific invisible wars will break the surface in America. One is coming for your bank account. One is coming for your reality. And the last one is coming for the grid itself. Welcome to the warnings they didn't put on the news. This is what's happening in the next 72 hours. Let's start with the threat you're holding in your hand right now. For years, we've talked about AI as a future problem. In the next few days, that future arrives. We are seeing reports of agentic AI, autonomous bots, being deployed not just to write emails, but to hack infrastructure. But that's not the scary part. The scary part is the reality fracture. Intelligence agencies have flagged a massive spike in industrialized influence operations targeting the US. What does that mean? It means in the coming days, you might see a video of a politician declaring war, or a bank collapsing, or a riot in your city. And it will be 100% fake. But by the time the truth comes out, the stock market will have already crashed. The panic will have already started. We are entering the era of post-truth panic. If a video surfaces tomorrow showing a contamination of the New York water supply, millions will stop drinking water before anyone checks the source. The technology is here. The weapon is loaded. And the finger is on the trigger. While your eyes are glued to the fake news, your wallet is being targeted in a very real war. Economists are calling it the Great Freeze. Right now, in backrooms in Washington and Beijing, a trade standoff is escalating. You might have heard about tariffs, but you haven't heard about the retaliation. Supply chains are fragile. In the coming days, watch the price of 3 things: microchips, pharmaceuticals, and energy. If China decides to squeeze the supply of rare earth minerals, which recent reports suggest they are preparing to do, the US tech sector freezes overnight. We aren't talking about iPhones getting expensive. We are talking about medical equipment, defense systems, the chips in your car. And here is the suspenseful part. The Federal Reserve is walking a tightrope. One wrong move, one bad inflation report released this week, and we could see a liquidity crisis that makes 2008 look like a rehearsal. The banks know it. That's why credit card limits are quietly being lowered. That's why getting a loan just got harder. They are bracing for impact. Are you? If the economy crashes, you can still survive. If the news is fake, you can turn it off. But what happens when the lights don't turn on? The FBI director recently warned that hackers have pre-positioned themselves inside US infrastructure. They aren't stealing data anymore. They are waiting for a signal. This is the Volt Typhoon scenario. Imagine this. It's Tuesday evening. Your power flickers. You think it's a storm. Then your cell service drops to SOS. Then the water pressure fades. This isn't a movie script. It is a documented vulnerability in the US power grid right now. In the next coming days, as geopolitical tensions rise overseas, the risk of a warning shot, a localized blackout in a major US city, is higher than it has ever been. It's the perfect crime. No missiles, no declaration of war, just a switch flipped in a server room halfway across the world, plunging a city into chaos to show America exactly how vulnerable we are. I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you this because normalcy is a veil, and that veil is thinner than it has ever been. We've talked about the grid. We've talked about the banks. But the most dangerous variable in this equation isn't the code, and it isn't the currency. It's you. Or rather, it's us. Strategic analysts call it social cascading. In 2026, America is more divided than it has been in 160 years. And our adversaries know this. They aren't just hacking our power plants. They are hacking our psychology. Think about it. If the power goes out in New York or Los Angeles for 3 days, what happens? In 1977, a blackout caused looting. But today, with the tension already at a boiling point, leaked simulation reports suggest that in a polycrisis, where the internet is down and bank cards stop working, civil order breaks down in less than 48 hours. Not because of the government, but because of uncertainty. This is the fourth front, the war at home. While Washington is looking at China or Russia, the real fracture is happening in the suburbs. We are seeing a massive uptick in localized self-defense groups. Why? Because people can feel the system straining. When the reality fracture hits, when you can't trust the video on your phone, you stop trusting your neighbor. If a fake alert goes out saying, "Riots reported in your area," you lock your doors. You load your weapon, even if the street outside is empty. Fear becomes the reality. And here is the part the government is terrified to admit. They cannot help everyone. If the grid takes a hit, FEMA is stretched thin. The National Guard is deployed. But in a nationwide event, the math doesn't work. There are 330 million people and only a fraction of first responders. You are effectively on your own. This creates a vacuum. And history tells us that when authority disappears, chaos fills the void. We are seeing signs that fringe groups are waiting for exactly this moment. They call it an accelerationist event, a chance to push a fragile society over the edge. So, while you are worrying about the stock market crashing, ask yourself, if the systems that keep us civilized, communication, commerce, comfort, vanish for a week, who do the people around you become? The next few days act as a stress test. We are watching specific indicators, protest permits being pulled, emergency broadcast systems being tested quietly at 3 a.m., influential CEOs selling off massive amounts of stock. They are decoupling from the system. They are preparing for the fracture. This isn't just about survival of the fittest. It's about survival of the most informed. The window to prepare your household isn't closing next year. It's closing now. Because once the first domino falls, be it the cyber attack or the market freeze, the panic will move faster than the truth. So let's recap. A financial system on the brink. A grid vulnerable to a keystroke. A truth that can be fabricated. And a society ready to snap. I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you this because normalcy is a veil. And that veil is thinner than it has ever been. The next few days will look normal until they don't. The warning signs are flashing red. The economic bubbles are shaking. The digital soldiers are in position. The question isn't if a crisis is coming. The question is, what will you do in the first 15 minutes when it hits? The next few days will look normal until they don't. The warning signs are flashing red. The economic bubbles are shaking. The digital soldiers are in position. The question isn't if a crisis is coming. The question is, what will you do in the first 15 minutes when it hits? Will you be the one panic scrolling? Or will you be the one who saw it coming? Watch the news carefully tomorrow, because the countdown has already started.